Welcome back to Football Daily, and it's Wednesday, so it's time for Transfer Talk, where we round up the week's gossip, news and rumours. And if you want to keep up to date with everything else we do, just hit the subscribe and notification bell so you never miss a video. We start this week in Turin with one of Britain's highest profile expats in Aaron Ramsey. The Welshman left Arsenal on a free last summer and joined Italian giants Juventus, netting himself a huge payday. However, just 8 months down the line, and it looks like the 29-year-old could already be on his way out of the Allianz Stadium. Ramsey hasn't been hitting the heights we saw of him at the tail end of his Gunners' career, having struggled with his fitness, suffering a number of muscle injuries, which has limited him to just 6 starts from the Bianconeri's 23 Serie A matches this campaign. And he's hardly been effective either, scoring just once, less than both Bonucci and De Ligt. Juventus are certain to make a profit on their midfielder, as they only spent £3 million on agent fees in order to secure his services last year, even if they were to simply flog him to get him off their books, like they've just done with Emre Can. But where would he go? Well, Arsenal are unsurprisingly the team that spring to mind, but in reality, this is unlikely. £20 million is the figure being floated about, exactly what Dortmund will pay for Can come the summer. But it's hard to see Mikel Arteta sign a former teammate who has fitness issues and refused to sign a new contract barely 12 months ago. Another suitor could be Manchester United, who are in need of midfield reinforcements, as back in 2008 they apparently agreed a deal to take Ramsey from Cardiff before Arsenal swooped in. 12 years later and their man is back on the market. Now surely they won't be signing him, but I mean, it is United we're on about. Now, just before we move on to our next story, it seems like we've had some breaking news. As according to Dutch newspaper De Telegraaf, Chelsea are in advanced talks to sign Hakim Ziyech from Ajax, and a £38 million deal is likely to be completed in just a couple of days. Ziyech was one of Frank Lampard's top targets in January, but Ajax insisted on keeping him until the summer. It's been reported the West London club kept working on the deal after the window closed, and it's understood the Premier League club are confident an announcement will be made soon before he moves to Stamford Bridge at the end of the season. Now, Ziyech, who mainly plays on the wing but can also play at number 10, signed a contract with Ajax until 2022 in the summer, and has continued his supreme form from last season, assisting 21 goals in 29 matches across all competitions for Ajax. The 26-year-old tops the Eredivisie in per 90 stats for assists, chances created, shots, crosses attempted, and final third passes. Not only that, but the winger has been directly involved in 166 goals since his Eredivisie debut, which is at least 36 more than any other player in that time. Now, it's no surprise the Blues are in for the Moroccan. It was reported in January they were interested, and Frank Lampard has repeatedly said that they have yet to replace Eden Hazard in the squad. The Moroccan international was the star in the 4-4 clash against Chelsea in the Champions League earlier this summer, grabbing 2 assists and also delivering the ball that was counted as an own goal for Kepa Arrizabalaga. Turning 27 in March, it seems like a brilliant deal and a brilliant price paid for Chelsea to get Hakim into London. But what does it mean for Jadon Sancho? Well, according to Sky Germany, Jadon Sancho will leave Borussia Dortmund this summer, and Manchester United are keen to take him to Old Trafford. The exact quote from Sky Germany is he will leave Dortmund this summer, that's for sure. But it's not clear to which club he will change. Manchester United is one of the big clubs that are interested, that I've heard. But Zorc, the director of Dortmund, said last week in an interview that he hasn't had an offer for Jadon Sancho yet. Today, I asked him, and again, he just smiled. Now, we all know the quality that the young forward brings, and turning 20 next month means that any club that picks him up will have a legend in the making. Who that ends up being, though, is the real question. We're staying with Italy's second best team for the next story, as reports have emerged they will do literally whatever it takes to bring Pep Guardiola to Turin. They may have only appointed Mauricio this past summer, but fears of losing their grip on the Scudetto and not having triumphed in the Champions League since 1996 mean they may cut their losses on the Italian as soon as the end of the season. The Bianconeri president Andrea Agnelli is convinced Pep is the missing link and are planning an audacious money no object move in order to convince the 49-year-old to leave Manchester City. Guardiola is currently in his 4th campaign at the Etihad and, despite 2 Premier League titles, finds the citizens well off the pace, and the Spaniard has had to field questions regarding his long-term future. Famously, he's never stayed at a club for longer than 4 years. But City fans do not fear, as the man himself, who's on £15 million a year in Manchester, has insisted he intends on heading up a 5th season for the club. So whilst money may be no object for the same people that managed to bring CR7 to Italy, there might be no price they can pay for the man that has won 28 trophies in just 12 years as a first-team manager. More manager news now, and this time it's former Tottenham boss Mauricio Pochettino. The Argentine was spotted in public last night with Neil Ashton, the former journalist who now heads up Ed Woodward's PR. And as you'd expect, this has fueled the speculation that Poch is in line to take the manager's job at Manchester United. Replaced in North London by Jose Mourinho back in November, the 47-year-old told Sky Sports that he would love to work in the Premier League again, but he has to wait and see what happens. He's been linked with the United job ever since his Spurs successor was sacked in December 2018, and Solskjaer's form after taking the job permanently has done nothing to quieten the rumours. But of course, Poch is also close friends with Marcelo Bielsa, perhaps explaining his appearance at Leeds' match against Brentford. But his company did raise some eyebrows. Add to that his recent interview, and it seems he's itching to get back to the beautiful game. But what do you guys make of it though? Do you reckon Poch will be strolling the Old Trafford sidelines in the near future? Vote in the poll and let us know. And now to Bayern Munich's Philippe Coutinho, whose dream move to Barcelona 2 years ago very quickly turned into a nightmare. After failing to cement a starting spot in the 18-19 season, the Brazilian was loaned out to the German champions, where he has once again found his feet. However, it seems extremely unlikely that the Bavarians will stump up the 120 million euros required to make the move permanent, meaning Coutinho will have to pack his bags and head back to Spain. But it seems like his parent club are ready to move on from their record signing for just £77 million, just over half what they paid for the 27-year-old in 2018. And this has piqued the interest of not just former club Liverpool, but the Manchester clubs as well as Chelsea and Spurs. Coutinho, who netted 13 goals in his last full season in England, has netted 6 times so far in the Bundesliga for Bayern, including an impressive hat-trick in a 6-1 victory over Werder Bremen, a game in which he also bagged 2 assists. In total, he has contributed to 15 goals, which is also his most since that last full campaign at Anfield. But if he returned to these shores, do you think he could replicate that form here? And which club should he join? Let us know down below. Bayern Munich could look to compensate the loss of Coutinho this summer by making a move for the Brazilian's former club and current country teammate Roberto Firmino. Reports suggest the Reds are expecting to see a bid in the region of £75 million come in for their 28-year-old. Signed for just £29 million from Hoffenheim back in 2015. Very much the unsung hero of Liverpool's front three alongside Mane and Salah, Firmino has scored 8 and assisted 7 as Jurgen Klopp's side looks set to wrap up the Premier League title absurdly soon. His 3.1 shots per 90 are the highest in his career to date, as the Brazilian has appeared in every game so far this campaign, something just Trent, Robertson and Van Dijk can also claim in the Liverpool squad. But will £75 million be enough to prize Firmino away from Anfield? You'd not expect it to, however Klopp has already admitted he doesn't think the club will spend much in the off-season. So a sale could tempt the German to splash a bit of cash in anticipation of their inevitable title defence next season. Now last week we discussed the possibility of Frank Lampard looking for a replacement for the out-of-sorts Kepa Arrizabalaga, and it looks like a top prospect could be interested in hopping across the English Channel. Ajax star Andre Inana has been on shortlists of many European clubs, but has had to wait for an opportunity to move as spaces for goalkeepers are usually quite sparse. Chelsea would have to beat Barcelona, PSG and Spurs to his signature, But the uncertainty at the number 1 spot at Stamford Bridge could be the deciding factor for the Cameroonian international. Inana, just 23 years old, moved to Ajax from Barcelona back in 2015 and has since made over 160 appearances for the first team. Back in November, following his side's 4-4 draw with Chelsea in the Champions League, the keeper admitted he would be interested in a move to the Premier League, and that you need to get a chance in order to do so. Well, this could be the best chance he gets anytime soon, but do you guys think he should make the switch from Ajax to the Blues? Get in the comments and tell us what you think. So that's all we have time for on this week's Transfer Talk, but if we've missed out any other stories, please put them in the comments below or tweet them to me at ZachJellub on Twitter and I'll let you know what I think of them. If you want to see more Football Daily content, click on screen right now for a video, and as always guys, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Bye.